I don't even know if I'm live right now. I think I am. Got it. All right. Yeah, I'm live right now. So since I'm live with y'all, I'm about to do something. First thing I'm about to do is I'm about to hear what's going on the YouTube itself. Let me check my channel. All right, yeah. I want to hear if my sound is working. This mic supposed to pick up this music. I got some nice jazz music playing in the back. It ain't even picking up. That's all right. Anyway, so we were talking about prep time like Batman, but what I really wanted to share with y'all, hopefully the sound will come through on this, because it's daggone internet, man. This whole technology shit, yo, got me mad at technology right now. But I want to share with y'all something, right? Because it's something that we was looking at, and I mention this to black men all the time, and apparently we're fucking idiots. But Good Morning America 11 months ago, just 1 year, even though over 11 years ago, I've been talking to black men and we keep saying this shit, and black men keep wanting to invest in other bullshit, and we can't even get our community straight or pass down generational wealth. So Good Morning America, white America, had to teach y'all dumb niggas the same shit I've been talking to y'all black asses about for over a decade, and a bunch of other black folk who in insurance been talking to us. But maybe let's hear from Thugger and Keisha, because, you know, we like to listen to certain faces. Right? Because when I come professional, oh, you're too buttoned up. When I come thugged out, oh, you're too thugged out. So fuck it. Listen to Good Morning America. Tell us about ourselves.
With two popular Atlanta restaurant owners.
Hold on.
With two popular Atlanta restaurant owners joining forces and feeding their community in a whole new way, offering black families the opportunity to invest
in life insurance.
You don't have to be a politician in your community to be able to enact change. The Square One Life experience is really an opportunity to show the black man that you are important, you are necessary, and we need you. And we need you to get life insurance. This is an important quote.
Damn, we need you to get life insurance, black man. That's what the sister's saying. We need you to get life insurance, brother. We need you to do this. Right? We very much appreciate that you did this. Right? It make a whole lot of sense for us if you would do this.
We need you to get life.
Okay? So now I'm going to come back. I'm going to stream it some more. But folks, y'all got to get the picture. This ain't no game. Right? This is serious talk here. They need us to get life insurance. Right? They're telling you now, a bunch of financial people would tell you insurance is not an investment. Good Morning America, ABC, and Bloomberg. And if you watch Squawk on the Street, they'll tell you insurance is an investment.
With two popular...
Only people who tell you insurance isn't an investment is an investment advisor who would rather have you pay him investment management fees, or if they're not an investment, an investment rep, but maybe they're an investment advisor, so they'd rather have you pay them advisory fees to tell you not to invest. They don't care if you invest or not, because they don't sell the security or the insurance. They sell their advice. So let's watch this from the beginning again. Black men.
With two popular Atlanta restaurant owners joining forces and feeding their community in a whole new way, offering black families the opportunity to invest in much needed life insurance.
You don't have to be a politician in your community to be able to enact change. The Square One Life experience is really an opportunity to show the Black man that you are important, you are necessary, and we need you. And we need you to get life insurance.
It's important for a Black man in America to have insurance. Man, we have to be total transparent when we talk about this topic. And a lot of us don't have insurance. People are driving cars that have insurance, but I can't even life have insurance.
Square One Life experience.
People are driving cars that have insurance, but won't spend on life insurance. I know dudes who are spending $600, $700, $800, $900 a month so they could push that Q50. I know dudes who are spending $600, $700, $900 a month so they could push that AMG 63. I know niggas who spending thousands of dollars a month so they could push they motherfucking Dodge Durango. But these same niggas will look at me and say $100 a month is too much to spend on life insurance to make sure that they're taking care of their seed. Nah, nigga, I'll do anything for my seeds, but I spend this $900 a month on my Dodge Durango. But life insurance for me? Nah, nigga, that's a waste of money. Bullshit.
The very unique programmatic thrust that we decided to do under the Pinky Cole Foundation with Derek.
Me and Pinky, we started out as partners. We both have very successful, popular brands in Atlanta.
We're both big dreamers.
Not too many times in life you're gonna get somebody that's just like you.
And as you can see, I ended up falling in love and he became my partner, not just my partner in business. We realized so many Black men were getting murdered at the hands of police brutality. There was so much Black on Black crime. There were so many things happening in our communities. A lot of us do not have life insurance because we don't have the information or the access to the information through the Square One initiative as financial literacy, mental health resources. We have a yoga platform.
Just not about life or death. If we're going through anything, try to met.
Now, here's the problem that I have with this. They're making it a very, 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 very low level. And my issue with it being so low level, $50,000, cool. You get a $50,000 death benefit from Prudential. The problem with that is this. $50,000 ain't gonna do shit. Remember, the average annual income in America is $50,000, right? We talk about generational wealth. So one generation, I'm gonna share my screen with you. One generation, according to Google, is between 20 and 30 years. Right? Black community, right? We talk about generational wealth, right? So let's say it's 20 years, right? So let's see. Let's look at Black folks. Let's stop the bullshit and do some real shit. So how long is a generation, right? It's right here on my fucking screen. Google says, because everybody likes Google search. Apparently I'm too much of a fucking intelligent asshole who knows everything and thinks he's better than everybody. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. If you feel like I think I'm better than you, that means that you think I think I'm better than you. I don't think that, but it can be about 20 to 30 years. So one generation is 20 years. What is the average? Let's see what the average cost of a funeral is in 2022. So they say a burial plus service is about $8,500. Okay. Now we already see GoFundMe is the biggest funder of funeral in the world. Let's say, what's the most expensive part of a funeral? The casket. Casket can often be like the casket I'm looking at is as much as that funeral. But what is the average income? Annual income in America for Black men? Let's see. Average annual income. Since we're going to say, oh shit, that's white, not Hispanic. Damn, Black, not Hispanic is fucking horrible. Do you see this? White men from age 20 to 29, 31,000. Niggas, less than 20 racks. White men, not Hispanic, between 30 to 39, $57,200. Black men, between 30 to 39, we're just earning like a 20-year-old white boy who's just getting into the groove of things. It gets worse. From 40 to 49, the disparity is even worse. It's $68,000 for white non-Hispanic, $47,000 for Black non-Hispanic. So let's say the average annual income for Black men in America is $50,000, right? From age 50 to 59. Apparently it ain't. So my homeboys in the Black manosphere talking about these Black women out earning us, it ain't true. According to Black demographics, according to Google, which is global demographics, Black demographics is skewed, and it's probably made by them same niggas who got subscriptions to Pornhub, was busy, mad at beating our dicks and not being able to sleep with the chick we wanted, being the where's my hug at ass nigga. But these are hard fucking numbers. And numbers don't lie. So, $50,000 a year for the Black man is about the average salary of what we make. 50 grand. So now I'm going to pull out my calculator, right? Because 50 grand is the death benefit that she was leaving. So if a person makes $50,000 a year and has a family, let's just say you have a family and you make $50,000 a year and you die, right? Now, let's say you have that funeral, right? So you get a $50,000 death benefit. But now remember, two things happen when a person dies. Hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen. Two things happen when a person dies. One, their income goes away. So that $50,000 that Black dude was making is gone. No more. Now, the second thing is their presence goes away. So not only is it that $50,000, because see, people oversimplify life insurance. This is why when dudes be like, oh, my girl, she don't work, she don't need life insurance. Yes, she needs it more than your Black ass. Let me just break it down for you. So again, one, their income goes away. Two, their presence goes away. Well, what do I mean by their presence? Well, this means that they're no longer there. So now imagine, if you will, you used to get up in the morning, you didn't have to worry about getting the kids ready for school or taking them to school or going to their doctor's appointments or childcare or any of that. Now you do. Because remember, that other parent is gone. Not only is that $50,000, but now you also have to, hey, listen, when I was at work and I brought the kids to school in the morning, he picked them up in the afternoon. Well, now there's nobody to pick them up in the afternoon while you're at work. Right? So somebody got to pay to pick the kids up in the afternoon or watch the kids in the afternoon. So that's another expense. So let's just do some math here. Let's just do some math, right? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Shout out to Savings Minus Debt. And before I do that, let me say this, because I don't feel I got enough eyes on this. This is the stuff that Negro folk need to be watching. Good Morning America said Black men need to invest in life insurance. I'm sharing this on my Facebook. Share. I'm actually going to change the title of this. In fact, let me see how can I do that? I don't want to end. How do I edit and change the title of my? All right, stop sharing. Let me see here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my channel, see if I can edit this live time. All right. I don't want to go there, manage. Oh, wow, you can't even do that. Okay. Well, I can't change the name, apparently. All right. Okay, so how do I change the title? I want to change the title of the video. You know what? Screw it. It doesn't really matter. Let's share the screen. The title is not important. So 50,000, right? Times 20. Because remember, we're looking at the generation. Times 20 is $1 million. So when they're putting us in these 50
literacy, mental health, the information or the access.
Now, don't get me wrong. It's important to have the information and the access to the information. But if you're going to put us in it, fucking do it. Don't dip a toe in, jump in the water.
Square one initiative.
Right? The opportunity to enroll for $50,000 of group term life insurance. Group term life insurance is not going to do anything for your family. The beautiful part about it is it at least has you insured so you can then go and then apply for your own, right? Because the average dude who's making just 50 grand a year, right? Again, we're going to go. The average annual salary of a black man is $20,000 a year if he's between 20 and 29. If he's between 30 and 39, it's only $34,000 a year. If he's between 40 and 49, black men ain't even making 50 grand a year. Guess what? If we go for black women, let's see what it is for black women. Oh, shit. 36,000. Brothers, that's a black men in our 40s. From 40 to 50, we're making what black women are making on average. Now, that happens to be because there are more black women who are mired in debt because of student loans and stuff because they went to school. But they do have those degrees that do allow them access to career-type jobs. Now, they are mired in debt. But it says, actually here, as of November 30th, 2021, black women earn $40,500 annually on average. Now, if I went and I click back, black men earning $40,500 doesn't happen until we're in our 50s. According to Kevin Samuels, black men in general reach their financial apex and stride at about age 52. So you mean to tell me black men, knock, nigga. You know why I'm heavy on black men? Because I am one. And I'm tired of getting compared to Gloctavius. I'm tired of seeing niggas with all these fucking fancy-ass name brands on. Right? And we got it fucked up. You see, I'm in a position right now, I'm broke as shit. I have negative money in my bank account. I have tens of thousands of dollars waiting to be deposited to me. But then I'm going to do something responsible with that, right? I'm not going to go balls to the wall and buy some fucking gold chains that are useless to look good for another nigga that's broke. Men from 50 to 59 are making $48,000, black man. The fuck are we doing? And then you got niggas like, shout out to Charles Faulkner. He's doing his thing, but come on, bro. You hanging on with your buddy BGS too much. Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. Dr. Ronald Neal. Y'all niggas is looking like some failed motherfuckers right now. Shout out to G with a PhD, Green Gorilla. If I was you, bro, I'd fall back. These dudes seem to be upset because in their realm of academia, unfortunately, they didn't get accepted like W.E.B. Du Bois. Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, we're connected on Facebook. Me and Dr. Ronald Neal, we're connected on Facebook. I'm sure they hear men, take shots. They understand, listen, everybody's going to feel their way, just like BGS. Everybody's going to feel their way and say whatever they got to say, right? As a grown-ass man, you take it on the chin and you keep it moving, right? I'm not expecting dudes to make a whole string, this motherfucker here and that. Nah. But these gentlemen are influential gentlemen. So if we're going to follow these influential gentlemen, I reached out when I first stumbled upon the manosphere and said, hey, Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, I know you don't know me, but you're advocating for men and boys. One great thing about advocating for men and boys, since they're on that 4th grade reading level, and we're not son husbands or none of that other bullshit that you disclaim that we aren't, we need to get our financial acumen on. Because part of not reading at a 4th grade level is because we can't even afford to think. Right? We got rappers like Lil Baby who can't speak English, but he's making millions of dollars. We got Floyd Mayweather making billions of dollars, yet he can't read. So there's a loss of guidance. So that means he's just out there punching. If he's making billions of dollars, he should probably be making tens of billions of dollars. But there's nobody there to give him guidance, right? because everybody's doing their own thing. I asked Dr. T. Hazan Johnson years ago, yo, listen, let me bring you up here. We don't have to do real numbers. Let me do a fact-finding session with you so that we can see this. Now, shout out to BGS, because BGS also brought me on his channel to talk about this insurance shit. This is why I said we're grown-ass men. We're going to take it on the chin, right? I remember somebody told me BGS was saying something about insurance people. And somebody was talking about Edward Anderson talking about, hey, listen, certain people's content is boring. Hey, he's not wrong. The reality of it is this: YouTube, if I want followers, yes, I got people out there who are like, damn, Zoe, men in the manosphere need to be listening to you. We need to be promoting you. Absolutely true. I agree. However, the caveat is this: YouTube is partially entertainment. So in order for me to get those eyes on me, I do have to be a little bit entertaining. It is what it is. Am I gonna go, oh man, these guys and BGS said sometimes my content is boring? No, the reality is sometimes my shit is boring. I say it too, because finance is boring. But a couple of clients that I had who came to me from that panel said, yeah, man, listen, I don't know. Sometimes these guys don't want to sit there for 3 hours and listen to these numbers. Their eyes roll in the back of their head. But we could be on these 3-hour Coliseum panels, battling the black women, battling the passport bros, battling the simps, battling whoever. We kind of got to do it here too. So that $50,000, again, you need $1 million to leave one generation of wealth, right? Because again, how long is one generation? Between 20 and 30 years. So if the average annual income for American is $50,000, 20 years of that is $1 million. Now, let's look at this, 50,000, right? Because that's what they're leaving here, right? 50,000, right? So 50,000, right? And we saw that the average room was about 8,500. So minus 8,500, right? So that leaves your family with $41,500 tax-free to live the rest of this year without your presence. Right? So that's going to take care of rent, utilities. Let's say you were working, husband, wife, 2 kids, and the wife was a stay-at-home mom because she listened to the manosphere and finally had a breakthrough. Hey, you know what? The Hispanic women are staying at home on $50,000 a year. I'll do it too. Right? Because, hey, maybe women aren't looking for financial independence. Maybe they're just looking for somebody who will take care of them. So at $50,000, hey, we live a minimal lifestyle, but you're taken care of, right? We don't have the latest iPhone, but we have an iPhone. We don't have the latest, Bentley, but we have a Toyota that's, 15 years old. Our rent is paid every month. Our mortgage is paid every month, and we're not hungry. That takes care of 1 year. Right? So now let's go to June 7th, 2024. You're left with 0. Now your wife got to go get a job, figure out who's going to pay for childcare, hope that the job she gets can afford the lifestyle that you have. But you'd rather invest because everybody told you that investing is bequeathable. What they don't tell you about investing, or even if you have a trust, how do assets get liquidated after death, right? So how do assets liquidate post-death? This is the law offices of Daniel Hunt. So this is an attorney. So what is liquidating assets? So which assets must be liquidated? There are 3 types, right? Real property. This category includes any real estate that the decedent owned, including partial shares that they may have owned with other parties. Wait, it must be liquidated? You mean to tell me that the trust and the accountant that I had told me that I could pass it down, but I really can't? Oh, wait, tangible personal property. This category includes automobiles, furniture, family heirlooms, jewelry, firearms, and collectibles. Basically all the stuff. Now, this stuff does not have to be liquidated. Intangible personal property. So this includes stock, certificates, bonds, and CDs. So this has to be liquidated. So now what that means is that at the time of your death, right, today it's $1 billion. So they're like, you don't need no life insurance because you got $1 billion. When your assets distribute, you'll be fine. Oh yeah, but that means that you have to liquidate. So how to liquidate assets. 1, collect and inventory all estate property. A trustee or an estate administrator. So if you have a trust fund, your trust attorney ain't telling you this. You want to change the locks on any property, 2, verify the value of all assets. A trustee, or excuse me, as a trustee, you have the duty to manage the trust assets wisely. You don't want to make the mistake of donating a rare collectible coin worth thousands of dollars to Goodwill. A mistake like that would rob the beneficiaries of a portion of their inheritance. If you know or suspect that a trust asset is valuable, you should seek to have it appraised by an experienced professional. Here are some tips to get you started. Real estate. Hire a real estate appraiser. Find an impartial, licensed professional rather than using your buddy from the golf course, hoping that they will push the numbers in your favor. You may want to ask your trust or probate attorney for a referral. Tangible property. If you believe the estate contains high value pieces, you should seek out an appraiser for that specific item. For example, find a jewelry appraiser to get an accurate value on grandma's heirloom. Finding the right appraiser. Okay. Step 3, sell, distribute, or dispose of the assets. So let's see here. Intangible property. You may use a stockbroker to sell stocks, certificates. Bonds can be cashed out at the bank. So when financial people say, and it's ironic because I had a client who dealt with this yesterday, and she was like, oh, my attorney said this and that. And I'm like, yeah, they're pushing you towards the status quo. As you see, and this is information here that I just shared with you guys from an actual attorney, right? This guy is an attorney Daniel Hunt. I don't know him. I don't know what state he's in, right? But intangible property. So this is things like your brokerage accounts. This is things like your any assets under management. Oh, I've got stocks and bonds and dividends. Oh, you do? Well, intangible property, you have to use a stockbroker to sell the stock after you die. So what does that mean? Well, today, if you died when Tesla was at like $1,600 a share and they sold it, yeah, your inheritance are happy. But if you die 20 years from now and Tesla's at $8 a share, well, you still have to liquidate those stocks at a loss. Oh, and the stockbroker who liquidates those stocks has to be paid. And the taxes on any gains have to be paid. And then when it's bequeathed, your beneficiary will receive the benefit. And let me just check for comments real quick. Mulatto, what's going on? So, this is very dangerous. Why can I not? And this is very dangerous to people. But again, I want to get back to, I know I'm going off on a rant, but it is what it is.
The platform.
It's just not about life or death. If you're going through anything traumatic, you can talk to a counselor.
There are tons of misconceptions when it comes to foundation, but I focus on really doing the work and being authentic. In 5 to 10 years, I see the life experience being a program that everybody can win from. I see Black people, white people, young people, old people being able to utilize this program. So I am just being a pillar to that community.
If I had to give advice to the younger generation that's here now, we can't change things overnight, but when you see 2 people that look like us, that's not politicians, that's not rappers, that's not athletes, but we stand for the cause and want to change as entrepreneurs.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on
My fault, y'all. I am doing something here. But I also want to get back to Boss the Black business experience. But yeah, it's even tangible property. So liquidating assets has to happen. So let's see where law offices of Daniel Hunt is. Oh, he's in California. So law offices of Daniel Hunt is a California law firm specializing in estate planning, trust administration and litigation, probate and conservatorships. We've helped over 10,000 clients find peace of mind. We serve clients throughout the greater Sacramento region and the state of California. In fact, let's see if I can get there's an attorney I'd like to get on the line. He's Caucasian, but he appreciates the Black community. And he would love to do something like this. So let me get him on the line right now. Hopefully. Right? And let's make this shit happen. All right? Let's go. Let's go. All right? And Google his number right quick. Attorney, I can't remember. John Serpico, New York. 212-242. Let's see.
Thank you for calling the law offices of Serpico and Sadiq, and the law office of Jeffrey S. Early. For John G. Serpico, dial 111. For Rashida Sadiq, dial 107.
So we about to call attorney. He's located in downtown Brooklyn, in California and Jersey.
Voicemail John Serpico. I'm either out of the office or please leave a message at the tone, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can during regular business hours. Thank you. Leave your message at the tone. Press pound when finished.
Hi, Counselor Serpico. This is Alonzo Hall. We met a while back at the BNI event at Juniors. I'm in the insurance and financial services world. And we actually had a conversation quite some time ago in regards to estate planning in the African American community. I'm looking to do an event. I'd like to have you come along. It can be it's going to be a virtual event via Zoom, but I'd like to hold that event and kind of have you come and speak to my clientele basis about things like, you know, having wills and trusts set up. You can return my call to 212-470-9932 at your earliest avail. Again, that's 212-470-9932. Thank you. I just got a text message from Brooks Brothers. I love me some Brooks Brothers. But yeah, so as you see here, let's see, let's Google. Do you have to sell your stocks when you die? So if the original stock owner designated a TOD beneficiary for the stock, the beneficiary usually receives those stocks automatically once the stockholder passes away. If they didn't designate a TOD, then the stock will need to be distributed as a part of the decedent's estate. Generally, most people don't set up a TOD on their stocks, right? Here it says, what happens to stocks when you die? Oh, no, you know what? Let's not go to Smart Asset. Let's go to FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. Death is, and this is of January 2023. When a brokerage account holder dies, what comes next? So, death is an unavoidable fact of life and of financial planning. When it comes to the death of a brokerage account holder, many firms have trained staff and resources to help the living manage estate matters, such as how brokerage assets will pass to their heirs. While specific procedures vary, brokerage firms will follow a fairly similar process of transitioning accounts assets to heirs. Once a firm's been notified, which should be done in a timely fashion, here's some things you're going to need. Death certificate, court letter, appointment naming the executor of the estate, which if you have a trust, the attorney will usually do all that. Your stock power, which is usually a power of attorney that allows for the transfer of ownership of stock. State tax inheritance waiver. So you might need to avoid inheritance tax. So a lot of people don't understand when you get those stocks, you're going to get taxed on them, especially if it's liquidated. Right? Especially if it's liquidated. Affidavit of domicile for accounts held in trust. Oh yeah. The trustee certification showing the successor trustee, and for joint accounts, an LOA or letter of authorization by the surviving tenant if the assets are moving anywhere other than their own account. So you have to establish a new account. So once the necessary documents are received, a new account is typically set up for the beneficiary or estate at time which the securities are registered in the name of the deceased person will be transferred. Generally, no account activity, buying, selling, transfer of the account to another firm can occur until legal authority is established and the new account is open. As with any new account, the process will include filling out a new application that will require the beneficiary to provide some personal information, such as their social security, their annual income and net worth, and to make certain decisions about the account. Registered financial professionals use this information for several purposes. So what happens is usually when you're leaving stocks and stuff, you're leaving it to an unaccredited investor. So they're getting this stuff. They become accredited because now they own corporate stock, but they don't know what's going on. They don't have the risk tolerance for all this. Right? So we're going to know this to know, your legal and regulatory obligations. You should also take time to get to know your registered financial professional and their firm. You can use something called FINRA broker check. Like if you look me up, you'll find that I have one failed exam for a securities license because I don't need them, right? I know everything about securities. I just don't want to get paid for selling them. That's literally the only reason you need the license. Now, yes, a lot of people will say, oh, the license means fuck all. But here's what the license does mean. One, it means that you can actually get paid for transacting the business. Two, it means that if you dupe or scam or harm someone, there's recourse. That's what the license means. That's why I don't do investments, because I don't want to deal with the recourse of somebody who doesn't. I've already been sued for $1 million. She won $410,000. From that, I said, I'm never, ever, 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 ever again dealing with something where I explain something to someone, they hear it how they want to hear it, and then they sue me. Here's what happened. Here's how I got sued for $1 million in 2013. I went to Jamaica, Queens, and I did a policy review with a client who had a policy that she purchased from an airport in January of 1984. For context, I was born in April of 1984. She didn't have a copy of her policy with her for me to look at the provisions and tell her the rules of that policy, right? Because every 2 years, insurance and financial services law change. But if you're locked in, don't matter how much it changes, your policy is locked into whatever it was then. So I explained to her, listen, you got injured in Jamaica, the island, not Jamaica, Queens. So as of today, policies only pay on US soil. You don't have a copy of your policy with you for me to look at. So that's literally like you going to the mechanic saying, hey, mechanic, my car is going, rah, 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 rah. What's wrong with it? He's going to say, oh, let me go look in the hood. No. I don't have the car with me. I want you to tell me exactly what's going on with my car. Because when I turn the key, it goes, rah, 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 rah. I don't know. It could be alternator, starter, battery, oil, gas. Who knows? I got to look under the hood. So I explained to her, listen, without looking at your policy, I can't tell you, but had you purchased the policy today, we only pay on US soil. What you can do is send the details of the incident to the company. She waited an additional 7 weeks, about 7 weeks to enter that information. And then the company said, well, yeah, no, we only pay on US soil. And you didn't put in this claim in a timely fashion. Already it was a 2 months after you left Jamaica the island that you're claiming you got injured on Jamaica the island. And then it's another almost 2 months before you actually put in the claim. No, we're not paying this. So she sued me, saying that I told her she could not get paid for her disability, which is what made her wait an additional 7 weeks to say, you know what, let me put in the claim. So from that, I said, you know what? People are idiots. They're looking for a way to sue me. I'm never going to be put in that position again. Because they think if you sell insurance or investments that you're made of money. We work on 100% commission. So this means that if you ain't got the money to buy it, I ain't got the money. If you broke as my client, I'm broke. Because I only make as much as my wealthiest client, right? Believe it or not, I'm as rich as my brokest client, right? You're never as rich as your wealthiest client. You're only as rich as your brokest client or your least wealthy client. But so tips for heirs and beneficiaries. If you're an heir or beneficiary to a brokerage account assets, these tips can help the transition goes smoothly. So you want to notify the firm of the policyholder's death. If you aren't sure whether the deceased had a brokerage account, keep your eye open for statements. Know what you own. Upon taking ownership of the account assets, you want to take time to understand your investment holdings and determine if they're right for you. In particular, you need to learn about the risks of each investment. If there are any restrictions on when you can sell the investment, which is liquidity risk, and any fees or other costs associated with that investment. You want to investigate the pros and cons of selling the investments. If you do plan to sell the assets, there's likely going to be costs and tax consequences from the sale. Selling decisions should align with your overall investment objectives. And you want to assess whether the current firm and broker are right for you. You're not required to stay with the deceased person's firm or broker who handled the account. Okay? So that's a little bit about that, right? Literally, right? Now let's go back to Google. We're going to go to Google again. What happens to stocks when you die? We'll go to smart asset, right? So investing in stocks can help you diversify your portfolio and build wealth. But what happens to the stocks when you die? Stocks and other investments become a part of your estate when you pass away. Now, why is this so important? Because especially Black America, most people don't have a trust or a will and final testament. So you're going to have an estate and you're going to die intestate, meaning that the state decides who gets your shit. So, but what happens to the stocks when you die? Well, they become part of your estate. Who is entitled to inherit your stocks can be determined by your beneficiary designations. Most people do not do a TOD, and most brokers and brokerage firms aren't going to ask you about a TOD, transfer on death. Your will, if you created one, or inheritance laws in your state. If you die without a will in place, a financial advisor could help you put an estate plan together for your family's needs and goals. So, blah, 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 that's sales, right? So what happens to your stocks when you die? So what happens when someone passes away can depend on the provisions they made for those assets before their death. So generally, there are 3 ways a stock owner can prepare for the transfer of shares when they pass away. They can add one or more beneficiaries on their investment account where the shares of stock are held. They can name a beneficiary as a TOD, or they can bequeath the shares in their will. So generally this generally don't ever happen. This, especially black folk, most people don't ever happen. And sometimes you'll get this where they add them as a beneficiary, but just adding them as a beneficiary, just like I showed you with FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, that shit got to be liquidated. So if you have brokerage accounts, you can name one or more individuals as beneficiaries, right? This does mean that they'll inherit the brokerage account in its entirety, right? This might be the simplest way to pass on stocks if you're married. You can name your spouse as the designated beneficiary on the brokerage account and retirement accounts to ensure that the wealth goes, on. As of 2022, 30 states recognize TOD. So some states recognize a special designation called transfer on death. When you name someone as a transfer on death, they have no rights to the asset in your account during lifetime, but once you pass away, they get ownership. So 30 states do. Yeah, I knew New York wasn't one. But most states don't, which is why that doesn't happen. And distributing stocks in the will. So a last will and testament tells you how you'd like to have your assets distributed. You can leave your assets, you can leave instructions on how you'd like to be, how the stocks would be divided if you haven't already named them as beneficiaries or TODs. So the advantage of using a will is that you have control over what happens. Say you own 1,000 shares of Apple. You could choose to split the stock shares equally amongst your 3 children. All right. So anyway, I really just wanted to talk about black men getting life insurance. Because Good Morning America is telling black men to get life insurance. Right. And we're also looking at, I got brokerage accounts, I got this, I got that. You know what that's like saying? Versus, to be honest, something that'll crush all of that if you get it young enough, life insurance. I got brokerage accounts. Like I had people telling me, yo, I want to get a money market account. Money market account. Right? Highest money market account. So let's see. That's basically a high yield savings account. And these are from bankrate.com. Right? So, wow, you can get 4%. Wow, on an annual with PNC Bank. Offer details. Offer is valid. Minimum balance to avoid fee, monthly fee, check writing. No, you can't offer checks. No minimum balance to open, no minimum deposit. Right, but it doesn't tell you how much is required to get that interest rate. So let's look at the biggest one, which I always go with, which is Goldman Sachs, aka Marcus Millichap. So they're telling your estimated annual earning here we go. That's based on $25,000. So the minimum investment, right? You could get 4%, but that's based on 25 grand. Right? Let's just look on something, right? Because you have to have $25,000 in that account. That's what APY means, annual percentage yield. So that means you have to leave. If I put $25,000 with PNC Bank, 6/7/2023, I have to leave that $25,000 in PNC Bank until 6/8/2024. And that $25,000 will earn me $1,000. Right? That's what that's saying. Give me 1 second here. On the flippity side, trade an illustration. Right? Let's just do something really quick. $25,000. We're going to say he's going to put $25,000 in there once. Oh yeah, let's reallocate these assets. Let's change the asset allocation to the 2-year point to point. So in just an annuity, right? Instead of I got a money market account from Marcus Millichap. So there's no cap on your earnings. 210% participation rate. So the end of year 1, year 2, you're earning about the same. But you don't have access to that money in Marcus Millichap. You do here. Anyway, work in progress.